The Hermetic tradition, rooted in the mythic figure Hermes Trismegistus, experienced a profound revival during the Renaissance, but its re-emergence was quietly seeded in the fertile intellectual soil of the Middle Ages. Contrary to the popular narrative of the Dark Ages as an era of cultural dormancy, the medieval period preserved, adapted, and prepared the ground for the rebirth of ancient esoteric currents, including Hermeticism. Though classical Hermetic texts like the Corpus Hermeticum were not widely available in Latin during the early Middle Ages, the spirit of Hermetic thought, its symbolic worldview, belief in correspondences, and reverence for divine wisdom resonated with certain undercurrents in Christian mysticism, monastic contemplation, and Neoplatonism. Medieval thinkers such as Scotus Eriugena in the 9th century drew from Neoplatonic sources to articulate a vision of reality as a divine theophany. This worldview, while theologically Christian, bore striking similarities to Hermetic cosmology, which saw the cosmos as a living, animated manifestation of the One. The emphasis on ascent through knowledge, gnosis, a core Hermetic motif, also appeared in medieval mystical texts such as the Cloud of Unknowing and in the writings of Meister Eckhart and Hildegard of Bingen. A key bridge between antiquity and the Hermetic revival was the Islamic world. During the Islamic Golden Age, scholars in Baghdad and elsewhere translated and expanded upon ancient Greek, Persian, and Egyptian sources. Among these were Hermetic texts and alchemical treatises attributed to Hermes. These works were integrated into Islamic philosophical, magical, and alchemical traditions, and later translated into Latin during the 12th century translation movement in Spain and Sicily. This process reintroduced Hermetic thought, filtered through Arabic Neoplatonism and Islamic esotericism, into Western Europe. The Tabula Smaragdina, Emerald Tablet, for example, became a foundational text in Latin alchemical circles, and its famed phrase, "as above, so below," encapsulated the medieval synthesis of spiritual and material realms. By the late Middle Ages, Hermetic themes had taken root in Western esotericism, particularly through alchemical texts and grimoires. Medieval alchemy was far more than proto-chemistry. It was a spiritual discipline that combined the transmutation of metals with the inner transformation of the soul. Texts like the Rosarium Philosophorum carried forward the Hermetic axiom that true knowledge lies in the marriage of opposites, sun and moon, spirit and matter, divine and human. In parallel, magical treatises such as the Picatrix and the Sworn Book of Honorius integrated astrological, planetary, and theurgical knowledge that resonated with Hermetic ideas of cosmic sympathy and divine ascent. When the Corpus Hermeticum was finally translated into Latin by Marsilio Ficino in 1463 under the patronage of Cosimo de' Medici, it was received not as a novelty, but as a long-lost companion to already circulating mystical and alchemical texts. Ficino and his circle saw Hermeticism as the Prisca Theologia, the ancient theology that predated Moses and foreshadowed Christ. The Renaissance Hermetic revival thus appeared less as a rupture than as a flowering of seeds long buried and nourished by medieval monasticism, mysticism, and speculative theology. The story of Hermeticism is not one of sudden rediscovery, but of continuity and adaptation. The Middle Ages, far from being a void between classical antiquity and the Renaissance, acted as a subterranean channel through which Hermetic ideas flowed, transmuted, encoded, and often hidden beneath layers of Christian orthodoxy and symbolic language. The Hermetic revival of the Renaissance was the visible bloom of a plant whose roots reached deep into the mystical soil of medieval thought. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.